Ah, the golden age. Remember it? A time, not so long ago, when the world felt a little slower, a lot more vibrant, and perhaps, just a touch simpler. Close your eyes for a moment, and let's drift back to those sun-drenched afternoons of the 1950s, through the swinging 60s, and into the groove of the early 70s. Can you hear it? The laughter of children echoing down the street, the distant clang of an ice cream truck's bell, a parent's gentle call from an open window. Summers seemed to stretch on forever, an endless canvas of scraped knees and triumphant bicycle rides, the scent of freshly cut grass mingling with the sweet perfume of honeysuckle. Neighborhoods were alive, a tapestry woven with shared stories over garden fences, spontaneous games of catch, and evenings spent under a canopy of stars, listening to the crickets orchestrating their nightly symphony. Life, for many, unfolded in rich, tangible layers. There was the reassuring weight of a newspaper in your hands, the satisfying click of a rotary phone, the vibrant hues of a family photograph, carefully placed in an album. Technology was a marvel, yes, but it hadn't yet demanded our constant attention. Instead, it served, it entertained, it connected us in ways that felt revolutionary without ever overwhelming the quiet hum of human interaction. Think of those living rooms, bathed in the soft glow of a table lamp, the comforting aroma of a home-cooked meal lingering in the air. Families gathered, not around individual screens, but around a board game, a shared story, or simply the captivating voice emanating from the centerpiece of so many homes, the radio. It was a constant companion, a trusted friend. Its warm, crackling voice filled kitchens with upbeat melodies while breakfast was made, serenaded road trips, and brought the world, in all its perplexing glory, right into our very own sitting rooms. That transistor radio, often tucked into a pocket or perched on a windowsill, was more than just a device. It was a portal. A source of comfort, of excitement, of connection to something larger than ourselves. It played the soundtrack to our lives, the catchy pop tunes, the soulful ballads, the rebellious rock and roll that defined generations and spoke to the restless spirit within us all. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in fiery oranges and purples, the world often settled into a tranquil hush. Streetlights flickered on, casting long, dancing shadows, and the soft strains of a favorite song would drift from a nearby house. These weren't just moments, they were threads in the fabric of memory, weaving together a sense of belonging, a feeling of innocence that, perhaps, we didn't fully appreciate until it had become a whisper from the past. A past that, for some, held secrets and promises carried on the very airwaves we're about to explore. A past that, for some, held secrets and promises carried on the very airwaves we're about to explore. But before we delve into those clandestine frequencies, let's drift back, shall we? Back to a time when the world felt both simpler and infinitely grander. A time steeped in the warm glow of nostalgia, where memories play out like cherished home movies, slightly faded but vivid in their feeling. Oh, the golden days of childhood. Do you remember the sheer delight of those classic toys? For boys, it was the clatter of bright metal erector sets, painstakingly building towering cranes, or the satisfying thud of a perfectly thrown baseball hitting a worn mitt. The metallic tang of an old bike chain, the distant calls of friends echoing through summer evenings. Girls meticulously styled their Barbie dolls, creating entire miniature worlds, or spent hours skipping rope, the rhythmic thump-thump-thump a steady beat against the pavement. The whir of a slinky tumbling down a flight of stairs, the satisfying click-clack of marbles in a tin, the quiet concentration over a challenging board game spread out on the living room rug, these were the symphonies of our youth. These objects weren't just playthings, they were keys to imagination, portals to adventure. Beyond the toys, there were the unwritten rules, the codes of conduct that governed our small, self-contained universes. A simple nod of respect to elders, a chorus of, yes, sir, or no, ma'am, that came as naturally as breathing. Neighbors knew each other, watched out for each other, and a parent's sharp whistle could cut through the dusk, signaling it was time to come home. You learned to share your bike, to wait your turn on the swing set, and to resolve squabbles with a game of rock, paper, scissors, or a simple, earnest apology. There was a quiet dignity, a communal understanding that bound us together, creating a sense of safety and belonging that now feels almost mythical. The scent of Sunday roast wafting from open windows, the distant jingle of the ice cream truck, the screen doors slamming shut, these were the everyday rituals, the reassuring rhythms of our lives. And then, there was the allure of the silver screen. Movie stars, true legends, who captivated our imaginations and painted our dreams in technicolor. Think of the timeless elegance of Audrey Hepburn, the raw magnetism of James Dean, the captivating gaze of Elizabeth Taylor, or the effortless cool of Paul Newman. Their faces, larger than life on the flickering screen, were more than just performers, they were icons, shaping our ideas of romance, rebellion, and aspiration. They taught us how to dream bigger, how to carry ourselves with a certain panache, and how to believe in happy endings, even if only for a few precious hours in the darkened theater, the comforting aroma of popcorn filling the air. These memories, these fragments of a bygone era, are the bedrock of who we became, the gentle whispers of a time when the future felt boundless, and the airwaves, even then, were beginning to hum with possibility. From those gentle whispers, a legacy bloomed. The airwaves, once just a source of entertainment or government decrees, transformed into a lifeline, a clandestine carrier of hope. For Anya, and so many like her, that little transistor radio wasn't merely a gadget, it was a heartbeat, a secret accomplice in the quiet rebellion of the spirit. It embodied the audacious belief that truth, no matter how faint its signal, would always find a way to pierce through the static of oppression. We remember the crackle of the dial, the soft glow of the indicator light in the darkened room, the hushed shared breaths as a forbidden melody or a coded phrase drifted in from across the divide. It was a tangible connection to a world vibrant with color and sound, a stark contrast to the muted tones of their everyday. The world has changed so dramatically since then. Today, information floods our senses from every direction, a constant digital torrent. We carry the world in our pockets, capable of instant connection, instant news, instant everything. Yet, amidst this dazzling array of choice and chatter, do we always remember the profound value of what Anya sought so desperately? Do we truly cherish the freedom to choose our own frequency, to seek out truths beyond what's presented to us, to connect with others across perceived barriers? Perhaps the most enduring lesson from those days, from the brave souls who listened and acted, is not just how they sought freedom, but why. It was the yearning for authenticity, for the right to define one's own destiny, to dream without borders. Those flickering images on the silver screen, the simple joy of a shared song, the hushed anticipation of a coded message, these weren't just fleeting moments. They were the seeds of resilience, watered by a quiet determination. They taught us the immense power of human connection, the subtle strength in shared understanding, and the revolutionary act of simply listening. Today, as the aroma of freshly brewed coffee fills our modern kitchens, and the soft glow of a screen illuminates our faces, we carry their torch. We inherit their spirit of curiosity, their thirst for genuine connection, and their unwavering belief in the power of a single voice, a single truth, to make a difference. The transistor radio might be a relic, gathering dust in an attic, but its spirit lives on. It hums in every click of a share button that spreads an important message, in every conversation that challenges the status quo, in every act of empathy that bridges divides. It reminds us that freedom isn't just an abstract concept, it's a constant, active pursuit, tuned in daily. It's the unwavering frequency of hope, broadcast from generation to generation, whispering, listen closely. The truth is out there, and your voice matters. And as we look to the future, we carry that understanding, a warmth in our hearts, knowing that the fight for freedom and truth, though it changes its tune, will always be a melody worth playing.